Okay, so Kathy, there's a lot of confusion about liquidated damages and what it really is and who has the rights to it should a dispute arise within the contract. Can you clarify what liquidated damages are?
Sure. Liquidated damages is an agreement between the buyer and seller that determines the maximum amount that a buyer would be obligated to give to the seller in the event they breach their contract. So, if a buyer breaches their contract and if the liquidated damages provision is initialed by both parties, then that agreement sets forth a maximum. In other words, the seller can't recover any more from the buyer than the amount of the deposit or 3% of the sales price, whichever happens to be the lesser number. So that's a maximum, a ceiling. And it's there because in a real estate dispute, it's very often to set an amount of damages. So it was hard for the sellers to prove damages, hard for the buyers to say the seller was wrong about their damages. So this allows them to set their ceiling. So if a buyer defaults, this is the maximum amount a seller can recover. Now, where the confusion comes in is many people believe that if liquidated damages is signed, or initialed, I should say, by both parties, and then the buyer breaches, the seller thinks that somehow he can just call escrow on the phone and say, I want the buyer's deposit, or I want 3% of the sales price, whichever number is appropriate. Well, the escrow officer is going to say, sorry, no can do. I can't do that until I have a mutually executed instruction from the buyer to do that. So just because the ceiling is set doesn't mean that that money is automatically released to the seller in the event there's a dispute. That's what I find is the most confusing part.
Great, thank you.